This video is on Chapter 3 concerning leadership styles from our Management for Church Leaders Volume Number 1 training. Again, as in the other chapters, you want to review the instructions at the beginning of the chapter to understand the purpose, some of the usage of time, and some of the key points that we're trying to make in this chapter. And we're going to be talking about 4 leadership styles that come out of a book from George Barna called A Fish Out of Water. He did a lot of research on different leaders across the United States, and he basically said that every leader falls into one of these 4 categories. And so the purpose of this chapter is to break down those 4 categories, and then we're going to talk about a test that they can take to determine what their leadership style is. The first thing we want to do is discuss what these 4 leadership styles are that come from George Barna's book. And so we have these 4 leadership styles: the directing leader, the strategic leader, the team building leader, and the operational leader. So your job is to explain about these 4 leadership styles and how they're different. We also encourage you to use an illustration. There's one in the book that's about a sports team, like a soccer team or a basketball team, showing how these different leadership styles play out in an athletic contest of some sort. It's just another way to help people understand these 4 leadership styles and what they mean. The next part of this chapter is to go ahead and do the leadership style test. There are 20 questions that the participants take, and then after they answer the 20 questions, they transfer their answers to a score sheet and then to a chart to determine which of the 4 leadership styles is theirs. And so this is very important. This is really the essence of this chapter, and so you want to make sure you spend enough time that they get this right and they answer the questions and they determine what their leadership style is. After you've done the leadership style test, I would go around the room and ask for a show of hands to see who is a strategic leader, who is a team builder leader. And then you'll find that almost in all cases, most of the people will be either strategic or team builders. And there's a reason for that. The reason is this particular test measures a person's orientation towards people versus an orientation towards task. And since we're talking about ministry, people go into ministry because they like working with people. It's very natural. So that's why there'll usually be a team builder or a strategic leader, because those types of leaders tend to have higher scores in their people orientation. This last part of the chapter really discusses how to apply those leadership styles once you know them. What George Barna says is that we all are dominant in one of these leadership styles, and that we should surround ourselves with leaders with other styles. But the purpose in this last particular section is trying to help them understand about situational leadership, that not every leadership style will be effective in every situation, and to understand how to use these different styles in different situations. So that's the importance of this last section of this chapter. One last thing is to remember that you need to apply the right style in a given situation. But if you apply the wrong style, it can have consequences. So it's very important to make sure they understand which style to use in which situation. There's an exercise at the end of this chapter, and it's a matching exercise where we try and match the particular leadership style you would use to a particular situation. So in this exercise, there are 10 situations, and you have to pick the best solution or leadership style to use in each situation. Now, the answers are in the trainer's guide. There are no wrong or right answers, but I put down there the answers that I feel are the best and the most appropriate. This exercise you can do individually or as a large group and discuss them, go through each situation one by one. But this should take you about 10 or 15 minutes to go through this particular exercise.